A season that everyone remembers me for, I scored one goal. I scored one goal and got no assists. So how could I have been that amazing if I scored one goal and last season I scored 9 goals? Now I tend to look at the present and at the future. I don't think as a player you fully ever maximise your potential. I think at this moment in time, the potential that I have and that I'm capable of, as a 22-year-old playing for England, playing for Spurs, maybe that Andros Townsend I haven't maximised, but unfortunately in life and in football, you have setbacks that change the way you play. You have to change, you have to adapt. I think I went on loan, if I'm not mistaken, 9 or 10 times over a 4-year period. It was insane. At the time, each club that I went to was better than the last club, whether in a higher division or higher in the league in that division. So at the time, it was a stepping stone for myself to eventually play for Spurs. So I was having to fend for myself at such a young age, but for me, it was all part of the process. I knew it was needed if I wanted to reach my goals. The biggest thing that I found, which I didn't know before, was that in actual fact, the Premier League is a lot easier than the lower leagues. In the Premier League, you play Saturday to Saturday, you play on nice pitches, you get planes everywhere, you get trains everywhere, everything's done for you. Whereas in the lower leagues, it's brutal. You're literally playing Saturday, Tuesday, and there are times where I'm playing in these lower leagues and I'm thinking, if I'm not excelling here, how am I ever going to excel in the Premier League? But then when I got my Premier League debut, this is much easier than it was, but from the Premier League to the rest of the divisions, it was a lot easier for myself. I think it was my debut. It was an FA Cup game in 2011. I had just come back from an unsuccessful loan at Ipswich. I think I was 19. And then we had Charlton in the FA Cup, and the manager wanted to rotate a few players. I was told that I had a chance and I needed to kind of showcase myself in 2 training sessions. So for me it was, all right, I'm going to work as hard as I can to help my dreams come true. I was in the starting lineup, I started, I managed to score, get man of the match and play really well. To grow up a Spurs fan, come through from 7 to where I was now at 19, to then score on your debut at White Hart Lane in front of the home crowd was an incredible feeling. But little did I know it wasn't that easy. There's a long kind of reason why I left, and then there's a short reason why I left. Probably the final nail in the coffin was I had a dispute with the fitness coach. I knew that my Spurs career was coming to an end, so yeah, I was upset, I was disappointed, and unfortunately I took it out on the fitness coach. I think there's a picture of me pushing the fitness coach. It got back to the managing staff and I didn't play again for Spurs after that. The long kind of story is I wasn't playing well. To be fair to the manager, he knew I had talent, he tried my hardest to kind of get me back to where I was. I think sometimes when things are going that wrong, it's difficult to get out of the slump. Maybe you need a change of scenery. So even though the manager's given me countless opportunities, played in a cup final, was playing an important Premier League game, just couldn't recapture that form when that situation happened with the fitness coach. There was no way back. The defining moment in my youth career was switching positions. Ever since I was 6, 7, I was always a left winger back in the 90s and the noughties. If you was left foot, you play on the left side, right foot, play on the right side. All my early loans were on the left wing. Couldn't say on all of my loans that if you was watching me, you knew that I'd make it in the Premier League, I'd play for my country. But it's when I was switched to the right side by Andre Villas-Boas, whether it was judgment or the fact that Gareth Bale played on the left wing and he was one of the best players in the world at that time, so I was never going to get in there, so he used to bring me on the right side. But that just kind of sparked something inside me, where, for example, on the left, naturally you run down the line, you cross it, whereas you put me on the right. Right now I can come inside and I can go outside. It's like a whole new world for me. The first time I really felt pressure would have been after my England debut. I'd gone from an unknown player, all of a sudden I was the next best thing. Everything I did, the press wrote about, I was the next golden boy. So that was the first time I kind of felt pressure because I had a reputation now. Now they're looking at me, how is he going to play? Is he going to give the ball away? Is he going to do this? Is he going to score this game? Is he not? At first, I kind of thrived off it. I loved being in the spotlight. I was playing well. My confidence was still at an all-time high. I got injured soon after my England debut. Your confidence is not so high. Your body's not feeling so great. You're not playing so well. Then that's when the pressure does start to take its toll. All of a sudden you go from golden boy to Andros is out of form. Andros hasn't scored in however many games. Andros is out of the team, he's on the bench. Should he be called up to England? It goes from positive in this country, they build you up just to knock you down. I had a half brother who passed away, so that's the biggest memory I have as a child. Just one day being told your brother's no longer here. So young to lose a brother, like your world's end, like how am I gonna continue? Like the pain is so deep. I might be out the team, I might be playing poorly, but it gives you perspective that anything that could happen to you in football or in life is never going to be as bad as the way you felt that day. You realise at such a young age that life is not all great, it's not all roses. There are ups and downs, there are difficult moments that at the time you don't think you'll ever recover from or you'll ever get over. You don't really see how you can recover from it, but eventually you do, even though it's never forgotten, but you have to move on.